Alright, so here's a super quick guide to stat migrations. Alright, so stat migrations are kind of this hidden little feature in archerage. Basically, if you open your character sheet and next to your stats, you'll find this little button right here. This is going to open your stat migration sheet. Basically, you can move the base stats around by subtracting from others and then adding to the ones you want. So the base stats: strength, agility, stamina, intelligence, spirit. Basically we start with 150 of each, and then we're actually able to subtract from the ones that we don't want and then add to the ones we do want. So for your first time migration, pretty much you're going to want to have one stat migration sheet that is full stamina, so adding 300 stamina, and it's going to help with general survivability. Especially if you do PvP, you're going to want as much stamina as possible. And then usually I would recommend having your first stat migration as just full stamina, and then if you want to make another one, that's kind of for your specific class for more damage. So like for example, if you're a melee, you can make a strength migration like this, or if you're an archer, you can do agility, intelligence for mages, and spirit for healers. Alright, so now let's talk about how to actually add and subtract these stats. So, if you go to a general merchant, you can find this item on the third page, these stat migration talismans. So for example, let's say I want to do add strength, so I'm going to buy strength, and then when I right click on this in my inventory, it's going to give you an option to move from whatever stat you want to subtract from and then add to strength. So pretty much the ones that you want to subtract from are the stats that don't apply to your class. So it's going to be either strength, agility, or intelligence. You do not want to subtract from stamina ever, and you generally do not want to subtract from spirit. So let's say for a melee, to increase strength, you want to subtract from agility or intelligence. If you're range DPS, you want to subtract from strength and intelligence. And if you're a mage, you want intelligence, you want to subtract agility and strength. And then for your stamina migration, you can subtract from also the same thing. So let's say I'm a melee making a stamina migration, I'm going to subtract from agility and intelligence. Alright, so now in this case, since I'm doing strength, I subtracted 155 from agility. I can't do any more, so now I have to subtract from intelligence. So here I'll get intelligence to strength, the migration right here. And then once you open the stat migration window again, go to the stat migration that you want to do, and select the little thing right here. Click apply. That's going to apply one of those to add 5 strength and subtract 5 intelligence. And also another thing is that if you want to keep doing this, basically for the first one every day, it's only going to cost one of those talismans. For the next one that you do, it's going to cost 2. And so if you really want to finish your migration page quickly, you can go ahead and buy a 2 more, and then that's going to apply another +5 and -5 in whatever stat you want. And then so that means if you buy 3 of those talisman books, you can migrate a total of 10 stats a day. Another thing is that you can also buy the arena shop. You can also buy the migration talismans here, and these will add and subtract, I believe they will be 10 in these. And so if you have some curious badges, you can go ahead and buy the migration talismans right here, and then it's gonna add and subtract 10 stats for every talisman. Alright, so another thing to mention is that if you have never done the stat migration before, when you look at apply stats, it's going to show that you can only migrate a total of 200 stats basically to increase that up to a max of 300, you're going to click this button right here. It's going to show green for you, and then basically you're going to need a migration skill. This is going to increase the amount of stats you can migrate by 20, and so you can get 5 of these to get it up to 300. You can also buy those in the arena shop, and they're going to be on the first page for 100 curious badges. Alright, so one last thing, if you want to make another stat migration page, you can click this button right here, expand stat saver. So for the first one, it's going to cost 1 saving pendant, and then as you get more, so like to get a third one, it's going to cost 2. And saving pendants, you can get these on the auction house or on marketplace. And usually I only have about 2 stat migration pages, one for stamina, and then one for your main offensive stat, just to make farming and PvE things easier.